Welcome back to After the Snap, and I'm your host, Tasha Pierce. Today I'm going to share with you my thoughts on the first episode of the Netflix series Surviving Death. The series is aptly named Surviving Death, and this first episode deals with the phenomenon that has been experienced by people worldwide of varying ages, beliefs, genders, and races. It speaks to the belief that an individual who had been declared clinically dead for any amount of time reemerges with memories of an otherworldly existence. And many will describe this realm in religious context, meaning the experience is shaped by the relevant spiritual beliefs of that person's country. Now, in those instances, science has mostly dismissed the validity of the claims because to believe one of the accounts would require that all of the world's religions be the true religion. So I would liken this type of experience as taking a cat nap and having a very vivid and detailed dream. Harder to explain are the near-death experiences, which is a term that was coined by philosopher Raymond Moody in 1975. A near-death experience in which the deceased person has knowledge of the things that happen after they are declared dead. Like in the room happened. Like what the people nearby said and did and everything. And that's what this initial installment of Surviving Death details in interviews with survivors of near-death experiences, also called NDEs, and the people who study them. Now, Dr. Mary Neal is an orthopedic surgeon who, like most people of science, she allowed science to govern her beliefs. That is, until 1999. The doctor, an avid kayaker, became the victim of a harrowing experience while kayaking over a waterfall. After being diverted to a rough fall, her boat capsized and pinned her underwater for 30 minutes. Needless to say, Mary was unresponsive by the time her friends came to rescue her, and a resuscitation effort began. As the vigorous attempt to revive her played out, Mary describes her essence or soul separating from her body. Now, as she left this realm, she could still see and hear as her friend willed her to breathe. Now, she reports meeting other spirit beings and being led to what looked like or would look to her to be an otherworldly city, maybe heaven. The spirit beings informed her that it wasn't her time to go. But she felt so warm and accepted that she was unwilling to return to her body. But the beings informed her that she had to. So they also told her that her son would return to this realm before she did. So Mary reluctantly returned to herself, the body that had been without oxygen for over 30 minutes. Now the amount of time that she was without oxygen is only corroborated by Mary. There's no one else that says, oh yeah, it was definitely 30 minutes that she was out of oxygen, because permanent brain damage begins after 4 minutes and death occurs between 8 and 10 minutes without oxygen. Miraculously, Mary was not only revived, but she suffered no brain damage. Even more eerie, several years after her ordeal, Mary's son did precede her in death. Now, Surviving Death, near-death experiences went on to detail several other accounts that all sound quite similar. So, are these people mistaken? Could they have literally survived death and experienced the afterlife? I believe that most, if not all, of these people believe they were dead and that they traveled to another realm. But just because they are sincere doesn't mean that they're correct. A more likely explanation for this phenomenon is a chemical imbalance in the brain when a person is near death. Some scientists believe that the body releases a massive amount of the chemical DMT when it is close to death. DMT, or dimethyltryptamine, is a hallucinogenic drug that has similar effects to LSD and magic mushrooms. Some believe it is naturally produced by the pineal gland and is released at the time of birth and death. Of course, this is just a theory, but if it can be proven, it would explain the NDE sensation. People who use DMT have transformative out-of-body experiences. They feel as if they're traveling at warp speed through colorful corridors and often report visiting other worlds. This sounds an awful lot like what people describe when they have a near-death experience. But you'd have to ask Joe Rogan and Kanye West for specific details, because I've never used DMT. So, are NDEs real? They're very real to the person who experiences them, but the jury is out as far as what the science says. Now, what do you think? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below, and like this video for more content from Surviving Death and other fact or fiction science content, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.